If you operate in a false identity, you even attract people that are not meant to be with you on the journey. But if you tap into your real identity, even opportunities align well with you. Like you realize that tokyafuba nnyo nga we wafubanga. There is a way how things are. Ne wabaawo obuzibuzibu nga, because now you might ask me, don't I face difficulties? I do.
You definitely do, but how you navigate
But
the muscle that you've built?
the muscle that I've built.
Entrepreneurs, business owners, we are excited to have you back on Diaries of an Entrepreneur, a space where you get to learn, where you get to be mentored for free, a space where you get to hear stories of the different business owners who have made it, who have failed, who have succeeded. What are those things they did differently to be where they are today? And guess what you need to do? You just need to subscribe. You just need to invite a friend to invite a friend so that we can build a community where we are going to be able to build kingdom businesses, where we're going to be able to build businesses that are going to thrive and stand the test of time. Today, I have an amazing guest in the house, the one and only beautiful Gift. Gift is the brain behind Women in Blossom, a space where magic is happening. Ariana, I was telling her that she doesn't look like the vision. Like, I feel like I always imagine it was maybe like a big person. But you know the things they say, a big girl with a big God. So I think Gift is a big girl with a big God and a very big vision where she's impacting people, not just in Uganda, but the whole of East Africa. Gift, welcome to the podcast.
It's a pleasure to be here, Sandra. Thank you so much for having me in this beautiful space.
All right. It's I don't know. I love seeing women win. I love seeing women do big things. And sitting with you this morning, I'm like, oh Lord, I wish every woman can partake of the anointing. I hope I'm able to partake of the anointing that you carry this morning. So who is Gift for someone who is watching you?
Hello, viewers, wherever you are watching us from. Thank you so much for tuning in, for subscribing, and for taking time to learn with us here. My name is Gift Nakayinga. I'm a mental health coach, strategist, and consultant. I help organizations build mentally stable individuals that are able to thrive even when they are doing their day-to-day work in their workspaces. Because it's important for us to understand that mental health is for all. So as an entrepreneur, as a CEO or a director, it is important that you provide a space where your workers can thrive mentally and be strong all the time. So some of my passions, I like cleaning and organizing. Yes, I like putting spaces together. I like putting things together, making sure like everything is aligned. And why I like that, it's because I believe that our environments impact so much our mental space. When you are in a room that is very cluttered, there are things all over, you find it hard to think properly. So that's why I like spaces that are organized. And my purpose I'm calling is into teaching and empowering people. So I like teaching, and that's why I'm also a teacher.
By profession?
Yes.
Wow. Practicing teacher or?
Yeah. I lecture at Dejo University. So I like teaching. I teach. And I also like empowering people. I like speaking to people and encouraging them to make sure that there is something in them that is birthed for the world to tap into. I'm also a founder of Tekel Health Foundation, where we redefine mental health for all, because like I say, mental health has to be for each and every one of us. So in Tekel Health Foundation, we create awareness, we do counseling, we do mentorship programs, we train mental health advocates, people that are out there and they are like, I want to be a mental health advocate, or I am a mental health advocate. It's important that you advocate for what you know. So we train you into that for you to advocate. yeah, for what you know, you have the knowledge of what you're advocating for. Then I'm also a founder of Woman Blossom, a women's empowerment community, and I think we shall have more conversations on Woman Blossom. But in brief, that is who I am. I'm very single and happy.
For your mental health or for... Are you single for your mental health or by nature? It's the time is not yet raised.
It's the, for now, it's the call. For now, God has put me into that space to pursue life like that. And I'm so very proud of it. It's amazing. It's amazing.
And yeah,
And like I said, some of my passions, of course, I like cleaning, organizing, but I like to travel a lot.
wow.
I like exposure. I don't like routine things. I get bored easily.
Most people don't. Most people like protein, as actually most people have normalized. No, they teach us. They teach us wake up at 5 a.m. Do this, meditate, drink water. Life has taught us routine, and they say that if you're to be successful, Imbu, you have to follow routine everywhere. Even our kids, like we are trained up in routine. Wake up, do this, go to school at this time. So how do you find routine so boring, yet we are trained
To have the routine.
yes?
I feel like for all the seasons I've passed through of my life, I've not had anything like routine. Like, this is how it's supposed to be, this is how it will be. I've not had that kind of setting around home. So I find it really boring.
You seem like you do too much, like you wear so many hats, so many hats. How are you able to achieve without affecting your mental health, doing all that you do without routine?
Without routines, like I said, I like order. I like things being in order. I like having concepts in my head, and I lay them down in my head. Then when I come to execution, like it becomes very easier for me. So if I'm to do something, it has to have been like really laid well in my head. Like I know the beginning to the end. I don't start without knowing the end. I know the beginning to the end. So I first plan, have everything in my head. Then I get to know this is something that will happen in the period of 5 months or 2 months or 5 years or even 10 years. So when I get on paper for execution, it becomes easier. So see, I want to, I don't know, see, how can I say it? I think it's like me unveiling something that is already been there. By the time we kugambira nti tukole kino oba kino kigenda kuba bwekino, it's already been
You've manufactured
well in my head already. Kiba kyakubiddwa dda, kiba like kyazanyiddwa dda mu bwongo bwange. Already nalabye how even the picture would be for it at the end. So why I say that I don't have so much routines around me, it's because my life is very funny in the sense that I think I don't do this usual kind of life that people do, that maybe in the morning you do this, in the lunchtime you do this, evening you do this, you wake up, you sleep at this time, you wake up at this time. Me, I don't have that.
wow.
Yeah, me, I sleep at any time. I sleep at any time. I can wake up at any time, but usually I'm a late night sleeper. My brain works best in the night. Me, I work in the night. So at around 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. it's when I have to sleep, or 2 a.m. Obongo bwange buba, because that is where I'm able to function and function. So when it comes to daytime, sometimes I struggle to wake up because I sleep late. So nesanga nga routines ezo zikukonywa amazzi simanya kolaki olunyi. Of course, I encourage all those things because there are people, and also given our personalities, routines is okay. As much as we encourage people, call a routine better than a routine. There are certain personalities in a zone routines though never right
At any point.
Yes. So for me, and even my personalities, my temperament doesn't allow me to be so much into routines. I find it boring, but I can have goals and I know I'm supposed to achieve this and I would definitely achieve it. Oba antya nenga twotadde it has to be at exactly 5 a.m. Awo bwongo tebukitegeera.
One thing they also teach, imbu, and you're a teacher, not ogenda tusomesa. They say that at times you have to do a walk of faith. We are told to just start. You'll figure it out along the way. You don't have to overthink it. If you overthink it, you'll never start. But what you're telling us, start with the end in mind. Isn't it a bit contradictory?
I'm so much a believer and I have a lot of faith in so many things. I have a lot of faith, actually, not in so many things, in God, that I can be able to achieve so many things. But also the Bible tells us that put your vision out there. Put your vision.
Habakkuk 2.
Habakkuk 2. Mukama wakugambira ati, like, lay your vision down. Put your vision down. When you envision something, it is like from the beginning to the end. You know, I'm going to start school. It's going to take me these 2 years. This is what I would want to get after. Like, that is the vision, yeah? If I get married, I wish to have kids. This how many kids. You put it down there. So, why is it that put it out there? It is like, you know the end of something before it has even started. You've not even started the school, but you're like, I'll get out with my certificate and I'll be able, my master's, like, of course you know. So I think that we want to mean when we say tandiko nabirabireyo, it is the in between.
The process.
The process. I think but it's always the process. But because if you say, I'm going to go to school, at the back of your mind, you know, I'm going to graduate. After 2 years, I'll be this and this. I'll meet new people. I'll do this and this and this. But the in between, you falling sick, you failing to get tuition, you know, having issues with your supervisors, the process, I think it's what we are saying. Have faith, like,
In the process.
how it enrolls, like, just have faith. I think that is what we always want to mean. But it's important that you envision things like,
Wow. Guys, today is for learning. I don't know if you're going to get a notebook and pen and you learn, but today is for learning. When you're introducing yourself, you clearly stated your purpose and your calling. Most of us, and I'll say this, most of us, about 90% of the Biko, they don't know their purpose. They don't know their calling. They're here to do life. When you ask someone, what is your calling? I deal with people and they're like, what's that? No vision, no purpose, no plan, no call. They don't know. They feel like they're just here to just do life and then pass. At what point does someone arrive to knowing this is my calling? This is my purpose.
I think one thing I can tell the viewers is purpose unveils in seasons. You don't just wake up and do like, now this is my purpose. Right now I'm telling you that I'm into teaching, like speaking and empowering women women. But I can't tell you that 10 years ago,
It is what you were doing.
it's what I was doing, or it is what I felt like, you know, I want to do, or it's what I felt like it's bringing me satisfaction. No. 10 years ago or 15 years ago, I was this kind of person who wanted my comfort zone. I just wanted to be in my house. What do you mean I have to stand before people, talk to them? How is their life my business? Like,
Hey, I hear you.
I mean, yeah, that is 15 years ago. I'm like, because even, like, it is very funny that I'm telling you right now that I teach. I stand before classes and teach students and all that. But 15 years ago, I even miss schooling. Even my teachers can even be surprised if they hear that I teach. Because then I never wanted school at any one point. And I kept telling myself, if my mom had money, because I never wanted to interact with anyone.
And you're teaching people today.
Yes.
You're mentoring people today.
I never wanted to see anyone nga saagala kubalaba. Like in muntudde mu class mulimu abantu abalala. I mean, that is very exhausting. Nga sibyagala. I remember when I was even studying my O-level, the whole of it, I never attended preps. For what?
Wow.
Like, nsibe n'abantu emisana yonna. N'ekiro mbeere nabo.
Couldn't you face by it but him again and prep?
Of course, bali batukubanga, but you know, when you're schooling, you find a way of how to maneuver. You find a way of how to maneuver.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. So for me, I could find my way. I could hide in the dormitory all the time, like for all those years. Yeah, that's good. The problem was in Syria in Sana. Can someone have a breathing space in your tarimba too? So because now you are at school in boarding. Already nemwe sula mulimu abantu nsibye namwe nechiro ngenesome namwe never namwe. It was so exhausting. Cutting away bagenda mu prep. For me, that is when I could get a breath and I feel like
oh, finally check out people.
Someone can be alone. On tambula dormitory yonna gala.
Yes, breathing the oxygen alone.
Yes. So I never wanted to have people in my space. But right now, I teach and you can be like, how did it come about? But then when you keep growing up and seasons keep evolving and evolving, you realize that some of the things you were running away from, they are the things that actually you had made to do. So for me, everything that I kept running away from,
it kept following you.
It kept following me. I think maybe the only thing that has been constant, it is that cleaning and organizing thing. For that, it's been very constant. Even at my home, I work for my Jennifer Msisi. It's the only ngere wakase bampita bagamba Jennifer lero azukuse fuwedde buli omu akwate ebintu bye because they know I would dismantle and trash
what is not declutter.
I would declutter everything. Mbo bino lyambadde stocks zazisudde zenge oyo mubala kasasiro.
Wow.
Yeah, so it is something that I've carried on up to date. The other thing of empowering people, of course, like I told you, I never wanted to have people in my business or me in their business.
You were minding your business.
Yeah, I was always, thank you. I was always minding my bit very well, minding it. I was so very much introverted. But right now,
yeah, you are very happy, smiling. In our business.
I'm in your business. I'm like, Sandra is calling me to talk. I'm like, okay, I'll go back 15 years ago. Me? You call to talk what? To tell you what? Even if I know, I will not tell you.
Wow. So seasons change over time.
So seasons change over time.
Do you believe that 10 years from now, you could be doing something different in a different path?
I think so. Because now, like I said, we keep evolving. Yeah. Our purpose is also embedded in the exposure and the experiences we go through. That is one thing that we forget. And if someone is out there asking, what is my purpose? What could be my calling? Just sit down and take inventory of your life and ask yourself, what are some of the things I've gone through? What are some of the exposures? What kinds of people have I kept attracting? That is where your purpose is. That is where your calling is. What kinds of pain have you surfaced? Have you, gone through? Those are the things where we get to pick some of our calling or some of our purpose. So I feel like sometimes some of us be so hard on us. But one thing we should understand, like I say, purpose unveils in different seasons. For some people, their purpose will start when they've gotten married.
Wow. Motherhood, wiabilities.
Yes. So before what is my purpose, then I'm coming is like, I'm preparing you. So I feel like for some people, you don't have to be so hard on yourself because there is timing for it. You just have to keep telling God, when that time comes for me to get into that, let me get the awareness of it that now this is it. For some people, their purpose would be in marriage or with children or with their husbands or the
experience they've been through.
The experiences, or after you've lost a parent and boom, your purpose happens. Or you get a heartbreak, you separate with someone in the relationship, and boom.
No. I hear you loud and clear, but
Yes. So I feel like the whole idea of us preaching purpose, make sure you know your purpose, make sure you know, we just need to be soaked into God and ask Him. Because now you can feel that peace that my time is coming. Like, really, my time is coming. Now you see me now. For me, I know I'm not even tapped into 30% of what I'm supposed to. Not even 20%, meanwhile. I know it so well in my head that there is so much to my calling and purpose. And in my head, I'm so convinced that some of those things are going to unveil after 5 years from now or 10 years from now.
Wow. Guys, hey, I'm learning. Says, I don't know what about you is seated behind there. Let's talk about Woman in Blossom. What's the story behind?
So Woman Blossom is an empowerment community for women, for women. It's Woman Blossom.
Woman Blossom.
You Salira. No, yeah, it is Woman Blossom. It is a platform for women that are very intentional about personal growth, very intentional about leadership, very intentional about mental health, intentional about faith, purpose, and community building. Those are the 5 pillars of Woman Blossom. If you ask me, how did it start?
I'm all ears for the introverted, for the person who didn't want to be in our business. Now you're here telling us 5 pillars. Tell us. Now, actually, the business of women is not even just one. Women in Africa, because it's a whole community. I don't think you're dealing with 1 or 2. You're dealing with that. Actually, you're dealing with an entire generation.
Yes.
So how did you come into our business?
How I came into your business? I think I kept hiding and hiding and hiding. Like, of course, even up to now, I keep hiding a bit.
Oh,
yes.
It should be. People are busy admiring you. You're a mentor. You're a coach. You're a leader. People want to be like you, and you say you're still hiding.
Mm-hmm. So I still hide a bit. Like I said, a bit. Yeah. So I kept hiding and hiding and hiding, and then. So I had a time in my life when things were falling apart. The seasons, answers.
But it's a heartbreak. The Uganda, yeah.
A heartbreak. But I think it wasn't really a heartbreak, but it was. Have you ever reached a time when you feel like Tewete Gela?
You're looking for something, is that emptiness. You don't know what to do. I think most people experience that. You're just there. You're empty. You're confused.
I was doing life, Nenga, Florida, like I feel like things are falling up. I felt like I'd lost a certain place in God. Yeah, I felt like I'd lost a certain place in God, and I think it took me 2 good years. That period took me 2 good years. Mm-hmm.
Wow, 2 years is a long.
It's a very long time.
It took. Were you in school? Were you out of school?
I was in school. I was studying, but I was studying while working. I think for me, I've been studying. I've been studying ever since I started studying.
What's that?
Madenga sobopenda tabi koksoba.
But what again? I'm not saying
I'm still doing school. I don't know I'll be that, but I'm still doing school. So I was also still studying while working. And it was this period of my life, things that don't make any sense. I felt like, I feel like I'm not that person. Like, I'm not the me or the gift. Am I Sandra so kubanga or ina Sandra gomanyi? I know there are some seasons of your life where that syndrome lala no kanga.
Tungatomutegere no gamba ono Sandra.
Wanjawulo mu n'ebintu byakola ngolabira ddala nga
tebiri no bibulamu
tebiri bulungi. And I remember during that time, my mom one time calls me and then she tells me, I was even looking in a mirror. I was in the bathroom. And then she tells me, but njagala gift wange no gift siye wange.
Wow. Even so people around you had noticed.
So my mom had noticed. And then she was telling me, njagala 51 or no gift bread or no gift bwali work at seal go why.
That was deep by the time your mom had noticed.
N'ogamba gift oliwa.
Shattered, and I'm like, Tati, uzali.
Gift aliwa.
I kept asking myself, Kat, okay, if my own mother cannot even recognize me, so who I am. You know, like you wake up, move out there, go do life, be excellent at your job, like showing up for your friends, but your life is very shattered. Like even your own mother is not recognizing who you are. That is a bit more spiritual.
It's more spiritual and it's deep. There is a level of deepness that is there that people cannot even understand.
They can't. So I kept thinking about, but by the time she told me that, I'd also already, feels like, things are not making sense. Things are not making sense. So, so God, anyway. So it was tending towards the end of the year in November, and usually my birthday happens in November, 10th November. So, but every single birthday, I don't usually do celebrations like parties or my bimbo. You, okuza birthday, I mean,
Money.
I don't. So I like to use it to plan for my next year. So for me, the 1st of December, that you people go out for overnights, do your rituals, mine's on the 10th of November. So for me, that is when I enter the new year. Era tutosanga ku 31st mbundi excited mbenyingira omwaka. No.
Already mina okulinda oba waguyingira
mbana guyingira mwenga temunaba. So for me, I enter my new year every 10th November. So I make sure that I prepare before that 10th November. I prepare like in prayer. I sit down, do inventory, reflect, neighbors and njagala muguno omwaka bishi bitayina kudamu surfacing. So it was around in I think October or late September. Ngantandise okugamba Mukama, let this other year be very different. Sagala kuyingira nono gift nange kwestategera. I feel like this gift should stop.
Jemo.
Nsaba nyingire mwaka mpya with another, like the other gift.
Make me new.
Yes, make me new. And then I was like, what is going to, because for every single year I look out for what is going to be special about it.
I think that is something someone can take out.
Yeah.
I think that is a revelation for someone who could be watching.
So every year you need to look out for what is going to be special about it, because that is the only thing that can keep you moving throughout the year. Even when things, go wrong, do this and that, but that one thing that you put your head around and you're like,
You look forward to
I
that.
look forward to this. So I was telling God, like, what is going to make this year special for me? Like, what is going to be,
Stand out.
what is that one thing that is going to stand out for me in this year? So I'm there thinking. So within that period of time, that period, jawulira ddala nti naawe oli mukugezaako kufuna oli gift gwe nkugambye. Oyagala kuvaayo, and now you get this other kind of conviction about women. It was during that time that I get this whole conviction about women, but still I could battle it in my head. I'm like, me and people,
I'm good. I'm not doing that.
like, yeah, people,
Already I cannot know me. Now you want to deal with people.
to deal with people. So I felt like it's too much. But I kept getting that conviction back and forth. So like I said, I work so much in the night. I don't, sometimes even when I'm not working, I'm awake. My brain is always awake in the night. So I be there very awake in the night. And still that conviction about like women get away, a retreat, and like women, it was the idea of having women get out of their normal or usual routines. Kadiza kugamba ate sina routine. But then in my head, it was like there are women that have routines and they are suffocating them. Ababali nga bwe kiri just wake up, go to work, come back, clean the house, go out, sleep, following day like waliwo atabalina ng'obulamu, like same thing over and over. So the idea was get women that are having that kind of life, bajje mu environment gye balimu, then take them somewhere, help them plan for the next year, then also pray with them.
Wow. So that's the faith aspect of it.
Yeah. So imagine get women.
Mgena paja, ngena pada people get women from where?
Get women. Make them retreat. Bave mu bulamu bwabwe bwa bulijjo. Buli kimu bakirekewo. Go work on themselves, then come back revamped. I kept battling it so much in my head. But like I said, some convictions are very strong. And it's not, and back then I wasn't even so much onto social media. You know, it's my navigation mass. It was just 2023. Yeah, 2023, because that is the very first year I got in the first event, Home and Blossom. I even didn't know that people are doing all these things of women.
You didn't know, you were so detached from the world that you didn't know what was really happening.
Okay, I was there,
Updated, but not fully present.
And if I never attended any women's event,
Hey.
so
it was an idea for you. Yeah, the conviction came. You get actually, the conviction came. God put it on your heart. God put a burden. We can say God put a burden in your heart. He birthed this idea in you, and now He's telling you go out there. And then now you're like, world, yeah, women, here I come.
So go out there. And Sandra, I battled it in my head, but then I felt like it's not yet complete. Because also I have the other thing I told you, I need to know the beginning to the end. How is it?
How is the end?
Yeah. Like, give me the whole picture. How is it supposed to be? Of course, in between here, the process that we can figure out.
But I want the end.
Yeah, I want to see Chigwerawa. That is another problem. Like in mental health, sometimes if you try so much of Maya Chigwerawa, if your mental not strong, you be great.
Anxious.
Yeah, you become anxious because you're gonna kumanya. Chigwerawa. So I battled it in my head. In my head, I'm like, how is this whole thing going to evolve? How is it going to be like? Like, I've never even been to any event in Bobaya Bashala.
I don't talk to people. I don't mind people's business.
I don't. I just go to church, serve, come back in my house. When I was doing school, I could only know the person I'm seated next to in class.
Wow. Wow. And here you are.
So I imagine the kind of life I've been living and then the kind of transition that I want to get into. I'm like, that is, wow. Anyway, Mukama. Guamanyi. This is me, like, literally sacrificing my comfort. Like, so anyway, fast forward, it was that one night, and I was thinking, now, a woman what? Like, because it was like woman, like, some like woman what? So when I was going through my Bible and reading my Bible, I got onto a scripture that is in Isaiah 27:6 that says, in days to come, Jacob will take root, will bud, blossom, and fill the world with fruit. I kept reading the scripture back and forth for like a whole week. So I think it's from that time that the woman blossom became a complete thing in my head.
The revelation became complete.
The revelation became complete from that one scripture. Because when I kept reading it, in days to come, Jacob also was like, gift will take root. That is one season. There is a season of days coming. There is now taking root. There is you budding. There is you blossoming and having fruit on you, like, and fill the world with fruit. So for me, that was a whole complete revelation for this woman blossom.
Wow.
So from there, I'm like, oh, so it is woman blossom.
Here we are.
So I'm like, oh, it is woman blossom. So that means women go through different stages in life. So in my head, I'm like, so now, like, which stage of women am I? Am I looking at women that are taking root? Because there are some of us that are just taking root. There are those that are budding.
Your season, actually, you are taking roots. The season that you're in at that time.
I think I was taking root. So I'm like, women that are taking root, those that are budding, those that have already blossomed, or those that are, we've even started, enjoying of their fruit. So it was a series of like different stages, or women that are into the different stages of life. So I realized that the woman blossom has to, you don't stop on woman, you blossom. It was like be complete through the world with fruit. So that means any woman, it's not that you have to concentrate on women that are taking root, because today, Sandra, you're taking root, the next day you're going to bud, the other day you're going to fill the world with fruit. Before you know it, you're going to go back to take root again. Like,
It's
you
a cycle.
get it. It's a cycle that doesn't end anywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so that means it's for all women from the different walks of life, whether they are taking root, budding,
Or
already
fruiting.
fruitful. It's for all women. So now, how do I get into now the whole concept of how will it be like, how will it evolve and all that? So remember, I told you I was asking God, what is going to stand out on this birthday? Because I had a small circle of friends and I could be talking to my friends back and forth, like we seated here having normal conversations. And in my head, I'm like, sometimes my friends benefit so much from me. And I'm like, I think there are people out there that will still benefit from this, not only my friends. And I think I reached a time with my friends, Netukesta Nembanga. You know, like it's a bad thing to be a mate at your friend, to be oba mama waabwe oba like I mean
yo
buli kaseera ng'obagamba kino
waliko nnyo ne
Yeah.
wabaki
Ose-
wabaki lwaki obeera wabaki
like it's like you have an eye all the time on
why you need to be organized.
yeah, use this like it can come off, it can affect the friendship meanwhile. And yet to someone else that is not your friend, they don't see it like you too much, you so but for your friend buli kaseera oba nga mufukidde maama we oba taata we oba they're like abazadde twabaleka eri lwaki.
That principled friend mawo gift yabasha if gift comes here tuwedde tagenda akkiriza this nonsense to happen around you.
Yeah, and yet you want to have this free environment with
Where you
your
get to
friends.
be-
There is no educative sessions and all that. I'm like, but these educative sessions, maybe they are for other people, not even like really my friends. So I'm like, for this birthday, I would love to do it with women.
Wow.
I'm like, this very birthday, I want to do it with women. So of course I prayed about it, and still one night, and if you're nkyaberawo mu kiro kemisana sirowooza biterabeerawo mu kiro. So this one night I get the whole concept of a woman blossom, prayer retreat, and planning getaway, 3 days.
Wow.
So I'm like,
Pastor
okay.
3, you're such a dreamer. I can imagine it's the first time you're trying out something.
Can you imagine?
And you're giving it 3 days.
3 days.
Wow, you're such a dreamer. You're such a go-getter.
And I'm like, I want to have these women for 3 days. Where?
Don't.
Kama simani.
But guys, before she goes, there's some things you can only get and do in prayer. If you're not a prayerful person, that the Holy Spirit is there to guide you, the Holy Spirit is there to lead. You're not going to do this. This is a vision that can only come from God and has a leading of God, because the Bible tells us that the footsteps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord. So naturally, your footsteps were being ordered by the Lord. Even when you didn't know, God was just in the story of, I've given you my vision, you've got the revelation. You see, everything is working out in order. But don't think you're going to wake up in your carnal self and you do this. Ojja kutomera, ojja kufa. Mama tumubuulire.
So right there, I now I start asking God, okay, 3 days getaway, shisha tugenda okukola, how is it going to be like? Just imagine 3 days, the resources, and
3 days. That's what I'm telling you, you're such a dreamer. 3 days was a man.
so I put the concept together. I like I said, I write a lot. I started writing, planning, and surprisingly, I wanted so much married women.
Oh, that you the single one.
Eh?
You the single one, eh?
Not the single ones.
You the single one wanted married with.
Yeah, me a single person, I wanted to have more of married women, and still I got more married women. During that, yeah. So anyway, I'm like, so now we need I need to put women together. So I try to call my friends and I tell them there is this thing I want to do on this day. That was from Tell to Fellow.
Oh.
We'll tell it to tell off. So, of course, they were receptive and they're like, okay, it's just shisha to no color. I'm like, okay, we're going to be registering women. We're going to put a flyer out. But I was very strict and I'm like, I only want only those ones that are very intentional about ABCD.
You had to draw your boundaries.
Yes. And even up to now, for the events for women also, when I'm advertising, I'm like, Bambi bobo jakunyuma, bobo just kubera, just come. But nowadays, just like it's a content kind of era, jetulimu, you just come in for content. Please don't come. Let's just have people that are going to come, learn, and go back and transform the community. So even then, when I was informing them, I told them, jangungo mainchino chewetaga. It's like in this season of your life, it is exactly what you need.
Not just for just.
Not just for just. So they paid, it was a fee of over 280. 280. Because I'm like, this is just starting. People paying their lot of money and all that. So they were very receptive. We went, had by that day 1, day 2, then day 3, and oh God, it was just gone. That's what I can tell you. Women showed up. I had like over 30 women.
Wow. For first time, that was really.
They're
was really
married,
great.
singles, but married were many. And it was just amazing. It was good. It was just good, I can say that. And of course, now you are thinking, now, what next?
What next? This has happened. It's been a success.
What next? Like, how is this supposed to evolve? And during that time, I had a theme of repackage and reintroduce yourself. Because I think that is also a season of my life, that I was in, and I was transitioning from this gift Gwesta together, wanting to tap into the other gifts. So when even I got in that theme, I felt like it was even
For
literally
you.
speaking to me.
It was for you, tailor-made for you.
I think it was
packaging and
reintroducing. And for every woman that came in their heads, they were like, I needed to repackage and reintroduce. Like, it was
So
like,
God gave you
I
the
need
right people.
the right people for that. So moving forward, we went into 2024 and had another still getaway. This time around, they were a bit many more, like the numbers kept increasing. And still, we went far away from Kampala. We went somewhere for 3 days.
I had a good time.
Had a good time. We kept learning, praying, learning, attaching them with accountability partners. And after we came back, and our testimonies were so good. But during the advertising of that, the events, that is 2023 and 2024, some people were like, but us who remain in Kampala, who cannot, go away, travel, we have children, we have other responsibilities. So now that is when I got we can't leave work. So that's when I got in the preparation of the summit, a 1-day summit. And for now, the instruction is 1 day for now. I don't know how God will evolve it with types.
Changing.
Yeah,
it
keeps changing. So for now, it's 1 day. That is now waiting 2025. We did the summit, the very first summit of Woman Blossom. And I was honored to have Dr. Msenero, the Minister of Technology and Innovation, come and launch it. It was a good experience. It was just amazing. And for every woman that came, their lives didn't remain the same. So after that, now that was the summit. So I realized that now we need to have that 1 day where women come and learn. Then still in November, we can always do the getaway, those that want to. Let's retreat a bit, like to go away. Then also, because now it has the prayer part, we could, I did divide it into having a prayer retreat, a summit, and then the planning getaway. So 3 things is
3 days, yeah.
No, 3 events in a year. The prayer retreat.
Or is alone.
The summit, yes, each one of them standing alone.
Wow.
So this year we did the prayer retreat. Now in January, now we're going to do the summit on the 25th of July. Then we shall have the getaway in November. So like that.
This is from a person. Indeed, you repackaged and reintroduced. I can imagine from being such a private person or introvert, but here you are
Isn't God faithful that He repackaged you and reintroduced you to the world to walk into your purpose?
I think God is amazing. And for Woman Blossom, I like to say that it's a bit more personal, not to me, but to every woman, because it speaks to you directly. You, Sandra, woman, not women. It's not a collective kind of thing.
It's a
Tumusoke
personal thing.
mwekunganye, mubeko
It's
kyemwetereza.
Nshinzijayo
Change.
Package
It is you to blossom with it, and fenet funamu, of course. If you blossom, if you have the fruit, fenet funamu, but it starts with you. So it is a very personal kind of call. If you tap into it, you'll be like, Katizenga Gift, I have to blossom. Zenga Sandra, I have to blossom. And like I said, that the pillars are personal growth, leadership. Why personal growth? Because sometimes I've done life with many women, and you realize some of them batukanebevaako.
Sinebagijako amaanyi.
Batukanebevaako in the sense of kati nga bwe nkugambye gye emyaka ebiri gye nalaba gye nabeeramu nga mpulira seetegeera. You know, like that was enough time for me to be like, yeah, nfaaki nandisigaliddeyo. You would have remained like that person, I mean.
Afterwards, tewali akubanja. It's me.
Of course, it's me. It's my life. It's my mom will be fine. She will
figure it out.
She'll figure it out.
She'll used to the new gifts.
But then I realized that there is more to life than what I see now. So for me, I think what drives me is the more to life, because every now and then I be like, there is more.
And more.
There, like in my head, I'm like, there is more. That's what I usually tell my friends. Me, I've not even gotten that 5% yet. In the I was telling somebody that it's next year. It's when, for example, now in my other part of life, like school and all that. Today, when I was laughing at myself, and I was like, can you imagine next year? It's when I'm going to start real school. And then I sat myself down and I was asking, so all these years.
Give soko tuwulire. This quest for knowledge. Chichejo. The quest of knowledge, because you're constantly, that you've said since you started school, you've been schooling.
In school.
That means you're under constant need of the quest of knowledge. Why do you feel that it is so important for you to constantly be seeking knowledge? Because I don't think you're doing it for fun.
Like I told you, I didn't like school. Did I tell you that? Even up to me, it's not that I like it.
But what is that thing that is really pushing here?
I feel like it's an assignment for us from God, for us to pursue knowledge. Right now, knowledge and ignorance both are currencies.
I hear you loud and clear. Which currency do you trade in? The question is, which currency do you trade in?
Yes, so both of them are currencies, and you pay a cost for one of them. For knowledge, you have to pay a cost for you to get the knowledge. You've been here talking about mentorship, telling people to pay. You have to pay for knowledge, you like it or not. Era shovala bulumu omuntu wakuwa magezi nagapuwa puwerere. Sometimes togafuna namu.
You take it for granted. Ogazala, or are you like, okay?
You feel like it has not hit like well. But when you pay for something, there is a way it settles with you and you feel the weight of it. So you pay for knowledge, but also you pay for ignorance. How do you pay for ignorance?
You miss out on opportunities.
You miss out on opportunities. Now when it comes, me and my medical personnel, when it comes in the medical field,
Gift to follow speed.
Bw'ojja mu field yaffe omulwadde ajja mu ddwaliro n'ogamba kale ono singa alina amagezi ku kino ekintu singa tali wano sekyandimumaliddeko 5,000 zokka oba 2,000 gyokka naye kati agenda kusasula obukadde 9, 10, or even pay for the rest of their lives. Ate si yekka ne famire yeesasuliremu. So that is ignorance. So you're paying for being ignorant about something. So I mean, God has positioned us in different spheres of influence. Whatever sphere that you are in, are you into finances? Are you into engineering, into business? Like wherever you are, you need to pursue knowledge in that area. So for me, I'm in the medical field, so I pursue knowledge in my field. But it doesn't mean that I don't want to learn other things. I can also pursue knowledge in other things. But in my area of influence is in the medical, in health. So,
wow. Gifts. you didn't want to be in anyone's business.
I didn't.
You didn't. How does it feel, the fact that today you're in businesses of several people? How because I believe that you have like mentorship spaces. I believe people come to you, you're holding all these things. That means that you have a lot of women that are under you, that you're impacting, not basically under you, but you're impacting. That means you cannot impact me if you're not in my business. How is that going with you now?
How is it going with me? I bless the Lord for the transition that He has put me through, for me to be able to embrace this journey. It takes the grace of God for us to get out of our comfort. And one of the things we should realize that life comes with sacrifices, Sandra.
Yeah.
That scripture I read for you, in days to come, Jacob will take root. The taking root, I like saying that it involves dying.
Dying to self.
Actually,
They first wrote, then they after rotting. I think when you put beans in the ground, they rot.
So now for me in the medical field, I don't feel so scared of them. But you people out here, okay. How can I put it? Okay,
He's also looking at you and he's like, what do you mean?
I want to find better words. But we fear death, and yet death has to happen. For some reason, you like it or not, it will have to happen. So just that you have to make peace with it. And usually people be like, and then they are like, Munanga, food that they continue with their lives as if nothing has happened. That doesn't mean that they don't care. Like, we care, but we make peace with it that, oh, it has happened. Now, where is the next patient?
So in life, you have to die.
So in life, we have, now when we remove the other permanent death, but there is also this dying. We always die. We just don't realize it. But every single day you are losing out on something. There is something that is dying in you, the good or the bad. That is one thing we should understand. And to any one of us that is on the journey of pursuing the purpose, the calling, get to know when you are intentional about that journey, so many things are going to die. The good things are the bad things. They are the good things that you'll be having in your life. Yeah. So why did I get there? I think for me, the taking root was dying to that me of me. I want my space. It's none of my business.
No, aligumite. No, aligumite.
Yeah, because I'm like, now what? It's your business. Figure it out. You get it?
I get it.
So I had to die to all that kind of thing, and God was transitioning me into a space of, you need to do life with people. There is something in you that the world needs. There is something in you that people need. Sometimes we take life so personal, but sometimes the life is not even ours. It is for God to do what He wants to do with it. So I think I had to die to that self kind of thing. I had it so much in me. Put it and say,
So Mukama yakolamu omulimu gw'amaanyi.
Mukama yakolamu omulimu gw'amaanyi, ekyo n'agenda nga
akijamu mpola
ng'akijamu, me wanting to be my own space, me wanting to do, minding my business. So I realized that now, getting out there to do life with other people, that is where I get the satisfaction from. Like, the satisfaction in the sense of, it's not that you've gotten money out of it, but there is this kind of peace and
the lives you're impacting.
Yeah, the lives that you're impacting, the destinies you're aligning, and you'll be like, oh God, thank you. Thank you. Some of us, we've taken forever to tap into who we are supposed to be, because omuntu alina otuleetera otutuusaawo tannaba kwezuula. So, and that's why I call out women to try and blossom. Because the earlier you do that, the better for someone that God predestined for you to help in their destiny. kati bw'olwawo nga teweezuula bw'olwawo nga oli mu kwesaasira ng'ogamba me my life my business olina omuntu gw'okotogera. I think that is abbe bati bakyogera mu Uganda okotogera.
There is someone's destiny you delay.
Yes, there is someone's destiny that you are delaying. So for me, I feel right now I honor God that I was able to really come out and embrace the journey, and I can't wait for what He has for me in store.
You wear so many hats. Olimoso, you're a teacher, you're a leader, you're an entrepreneur. Control, how do you balance?
Like you said, mental health.
Most people who are doing more than 3 things, actually someone is just worried and a mother. Basugamba, so mental health. How are you balancing all this with us? How are you doing it?
I think number one, I can say the grace of God. Though sometimes that it's really tangible. Omutayinza okuloza tikirabika like so.
But it's techirabika, but the grace of God, I mean, it's the grace of
It
God.
is the grace of
The
God.
sufficiency comes from Him.
From Him. So ebintu ebimu Mukama atuyambako buyambi, and it comes when you've also embraced what He has put on you. Yeah, kyo kiti kyekugambye n'onteesaasira, because where there is always a will, there is
a way.
There is a way. If we could look out for the so many people in the Bible that did amazing things, they put it out of themselves. When God wanted to use Abraham a certain way, he made him get out of himself. Namugamba genda oyimirire otunule mpaka amasomo yonna gye ganaakoma, I'll give you.
Tetwagala kugenda, tetwagala kulaba.
Tetwagala kulaba. So, but and also, I think it also goes back to character, to, like I said, I'm a big believer in faith. Like, I think the only,
You have strong faith.
yes, the
Faith
only,
like for Abraham.
It's
a childlike faith.
Wow.
But I feel
So
like
big.
it's the only thing, it's the only investment I have, it's the only asset I have, it's the only, I feel like it's the kyabugagga kyose bwe baba bagamba abantu abalina ebyobugagga nze nkirira ekyobugagga kye nnina. It is faith. If I can still live for tomorrow, if I can, bwe mba nkyali mulamu kwenensi, so much will happen. So I have that faith. So having that faith, it has made me believe that there is so much that God has put in me that I can still execute, that I can still plan and do. So now when you ask me, how do you do all those things? One, I said it's by the grace of God, but I've also come to know myself at a certain level.
You're self-aware.
Very self-aware, and I happen to have a very creative mind. My mind is so wild.
Is racing and racing. They say overthinking is dangerous. But what you're saying, actually overthinking and creativity kind of go hand in hand. Most of the people who overthink are so creative.
The people overthink and just do nothing about it, and then they're constantly tired and overwhelmed from overthinking.
But for you, you say you're so creative, then overthinking, then mental health. So don't you see there is a lot of science in
There. I think Shirishogandhi, when you overthink and then you don't execute, the way any ideas in implementing, you become overwhelmed. That is why now sometimes Kachitubagamba, you do method detox, like declutter your mind. There is that emotional declutter, the method declutter. You remove plans, same for the longest. What was executing, and because at the end of the day, execution is the most important thing. There is, like someone, how they keep telling you now, let's try in a relationship. Tunabiranga okusuubiza nja kukolera kino, era I love you, era this, era all those kinds of things. But they never execute. Like this, I don't like talking. Yeah, I just like someone that does. Me, I don't like talking. Let's just do, not talk. Like talk. Yeah. So I feel like the overwhelm comes from when you just talk and don't execute. Yeah. So of course there are fears as you did execution ogamba atechino, but also nafe mukama tugamba to put our best foot out there. And now that's where the faith comes in. If you've envisioned something nga ochitadde mu bwongo kubanga mukama akolagana n'obwongo bwaffe as far as you can see.
Stand, see, dream.
Yeah, so mukama akolagana n'obwongo bwaffe, and I think also I came to understand that there is so much in like to inner potential. You know, like someone can die when they've not even fulfilled like 20% or even 10%.
I think there is a writer who says there are a lot of buried dreams, the dreams that never go to see light with people.
Simply because we don't want to stretch ourselves. Kubanga omutajja kugamba ate me, I don't have opportunities here in the background. Of course, now for woman goes on, we say breaking limitations and embracing purpose. Sandra, limitations will always be there. Jesus had many limitations around him. The other people that we admire in the Bible, they had so many limitations.
Even some of the people on earth.
Even the people we see now, if they sit down to tell you their story, like you'll be like, but
how? If I went through that, if I go through that, I will die. I can't even imagine going through that.
Who told you that you can? I mean, like, I think we just have to know that the limitations are there, but I'm supposed to get past them. So your job is to get past them. Or what, but you have to get past them. And sit again, I could that way, Sandra has this limitation of she didn't go to school. I mean, she's into this and this and this. I think we are past that era. Like, we don't have time for it. And say, I didn't do this because of this. I mean, people have done things that are in your...
But there
is a lot of capability in us. I'm going to give a very small example when I see there is a lot of capability in us. Me, I did my first last office in, I think I was in P4. Last office, what do you mind? Last office, kweku omuntu ng'afudde n'omukolako. That is the last office.
You what?
I think I was in P4, P5.
Okay. So my mind is running. My mind is resting. I'm like,
I don't want to
you're
scare.
just a child.
I was very little.
And here is a dead.
Yes. Now my uncle gets sick. When he gets sick, yafuna obusujja ngate ngabera yeka yali abera yeka. The wife was living elsewhere naye ngabera yeka. So I was living with my grandmother there in Masaka. And olaba nga bwe tuli wano nga kati ye waali otambulako like I think if it use a border so okutwalirawo 10 oba 12. So kati nga tugendayo ne tumutwalira nga jija nga fumba emmere n'agimpa ne njimutwalira. Kati nate kugambira saagalaga kusoma, so I could posayo sa. That's why I happened to be home. Even in primary I didn't. So I could post. So it happened that me, I was home. Surprisingly, I don't know where my other siblings were. We're at school. I mean, my mother is at work. Everyone is at school. Me, I'm at home with my I'm at home. Yes. So my uncle gets sick. Netumanya nti mulwadde. Betumanya nti mulwadde. So ajija ngabera ampe mmere ne mjimutwalirayo ku lunch time. Nenjijayo ebintu byaliriddemu ku makya ne mpisayo like that. So omusujja bwamuluma n'atugamba agenda kuba bulungi. Like, yeah, omanyi abantu abakulu. I'm going to be okay. I'll be fine. Nejjukira mu nju alimu yekka. So me I could bring food, go back. Nga era atumuleka asulamu yekka mu nju. When abaana be tebaliizo. So anyway, fast forward on this fruitful day, nkomawo okuleeta lunch. Muletedde ekyemisana naye ndesena byennyanja. I remember. So nyingira mu kisenge koja
What? Yeah, that's
kati opposite sibitegeera da bitegeera nnyo but I got to understand kati on food there. I got to know that he's dead. Wow. Yes, I got to know that he's dead. So
were you scared? Did you jump?
Me jump, I did.
Wow. You're so gumite.
Anyway, I did. So I looked at him and then in my head I started thinking, omuntu bw'afa bakola bati.
What?
Ngani mukisengawo?
You're such a creative mind. By that time, you will not catch me near. Even at this age, you will not catch me near though.
So in my head, I'm like, kati omuntu bw'afa bakola bati. kane ntandika okujjukira scenarios byolaba ku kyalo mbu omuntu afudde olaba abantu bakuŋŋaana biki ebyo ebintu bwe bityo. So I'm like, I started looking at the house. It was a 3-bedroomed house. Nayamba kati abantu bagenda kujjana ennyumba basali bulungi laba ekisenge laba obuliri. Yeah, it was P4 P5.
Wow.
Kati nze obwongo bwange ne buŋŋamba abantu bagenda kujja wano kojja waaswale.
Tegeka ennyumba.
Sooka otegeka ekisenge kye. Ne nnoonya yaawe engoye ezitukula. Iye, ne nnoonya yaawe engoye ezitukula. Nasooka kumutereeza n'obuliri n'embwala bulungi.
Okay, this sounds like a movie.
Ne muleka nga mutereezezza, then I went back ewa jjajja waffe. Ne nzirayo ne mugamba. Ne bambuuza kojja waali ati. Ne mbagala atalidde emmere lwaki? Yafudde. So, yeah.
Such a strong girl.
But so now, because the judge is looking at me like this, okay, I'm like, yafudde. Yafudde, musanze yafudde, talidde mmere. Kati awo n'atandika kubira mama wange, abantu, ati bagenda okukomawo mu nju. Nze bukimu nakitereezezza, namutereezezza, namusiimudde. So that was my first office. Okay, in health tugiyita last office. That was my first office.
Second of all, hats off. There is nothing you will not achieve in this world if you are able to do that at such a tender age. You're such a creative. Okay, you're not even creative. You're so fierce. Wow.
I think I believe if something, then it cannot happen. But if I put my mind on it, and I keep telling myself the only thing I've not achieved yet, I've just going to put my mind on it.
I want you to speak to the business people and the entrepreneurs, Uncle. Most of the people start things, no? Then they hit like a snap, then they hit like limitations, then they get, because I'm driving this question from the fact that you're so tender, you're so young, you're so little, but you're able to see something as scary as that even me, an adult at my age, I'm like, Helena, not today. Or someone else should take over, like the fear. But we are so fearful. Huh? Is this business going to work out? Then you're stuck in the first year, the second year, you're closing. Then we have a whole generation of people of, oh, my mental health is being affected. This business is affecting my mental health, and it's my mental health, and to miss my mental health. So every time it's my mental health first, my mental health first. What do you tell an entrepreneur who is out there in the business is like is so full of fear? Like they're full of fear. They can't, anything small, they're shaking, they're depressed. Anything small, they want to run. Actually, these days we are a generation of people who start things and just drop them because something small came and shifts us. It could be small, it could be big. What do you have to tell a person like that?
You're the right person to talk about this because you're able. You're good, I respect.
No, I think what I can tell each one of us is you can. You can and you will. You just need to have a strategy. You just need to have first a will, then have a strategy. But now, of course, before I say that, I could say God has to be in the picture. You see also, Sandra, life is very funny. There are certain things that we do.
And people believe that life is not spiritual. Yet life is spiritual, but people believe out there.
Life is very spiritual. There are certain businesses, zojo genda, zojo kola, nenga, Sandra, it doesn't align of all of the like life is okay. Let me give you an example. Those 2 years is Ekogambie where I was trying to find myself and put it up mamanga to kesera aberela tante gera. It was because I was rating a certain place. Ne buli kimu ekyange kyatandika okwonooneka okuva we nayingirawo. It's surprisingly I spent there 2 years. But everything of mine crumbled while I was at that place.
Oh, so the problem was the apartment.
I can't, I mean, I don't know, but in my head I was so convinced that it was the environment. It was that place, like, because everything, I mean everything. And after I shifted from there, my life started aligning, like I lost things. I lost people.
Wow.
I lost myself, like, leave alone Taleba could be it.
But losing yourself is it's the biggest.
Thank you. You lose yourself, you lose on people. Ne family no tukesera nga tokyagitegeera. So mbekyo kinyonyola nti. And then after I left that place, my life started aligning. I started having a good relationship with my mom. Neruli byali byayononeka. Like, I mean, nga nange setegeera. So life is very spiritual sometimes. And that is why that it's important that you even pray for the environments. Zobeeramu oba zokoleramu business. Sometimes it's not the business that is the problem. Sometimes it's the environment. Nga ojja kugezaako gezeeko bigaane ky'oba nawe in the other world. People do sacrifices. Ennyumba nga tannagiyingira n'abaako by'akola oba people do things. Ne babikola. Kati for you, what have you done? You need to pray. There are other things, there are so many things that we can, put into consideration. But I want to encourage us that whatever it is that you've put your mind onto doing and you put it before God, the Bible tells us when God provides a will, He provides a strategy. Or you talked of the whole picture at once, but it keeps evolving. As Kugamba starts, then
Figure it out.
then you will figure it out because mwe your process, bw'otunuulira obulamu bwaffe abakkiririza mu Yesu Kristo, the way his life kept evolving, the parents didn't have the whole picture. They didn't know nti bijja kubaamu n'omwana okubulako, okubanoonya okubatta. But also those challenges, I want to encourage us that they are part of life. As much as the soft life coaches, I love you so much.
Soft life ambassador.
But soft life ambassador. I would also want a soft life, but
Life is not
life
soft in
is not
itself.
soft as we think it's life has life itself, it's work. So it will never be that soft. So I feel like for the entrepreneurs, you should understand that things will get hard. But now in mental health, we talk about the resilience. The resilience is not because things are that like they are going well and all that. The resilience comes that things have been failing. Yeah, you've persevered here and there, and you've been resilient to carry yourself through. Mpaka bowangula. So sometimes I think we need that mental resilience, even in business. Of course, we're in a generation for mental experts, advocates, but anything that doesn't support your mental health, like
Please, out of
oyo
the way.
omuntu bw'aba pressure mental health yo crumbling muleke do this and this and this. But if in the days back then singa abantu back then nabo balinga nga bagamba era my mental health, we wouldn't have seen all these nice buildings, all these good organizations, like all these things bye tulabako kati. They persevered, basulako enjala, basulako ku street, bakola ki ate tebamenya na mizimu. Olumu si mizimu tulina okukimenya. Yes, as much as they are there, ndi mulokole ekimbanyi gye ziri. Naye olumu si muzimu. It's part of life that you have to go through. Mukama alina okurifiningira mu mbeera ezimu. It is in those hard moments Mukama azawe
Refining. You're
Yeah.
taking it through the wilderness and getting you out.
and gets you out. But and also let me make this clear to each one of us. If you've not yet gotten bad days yet, zija soon or later they will come. They will definitely
a matter
come,
of time.
Sandro. They will come. So the most important thing is to prepare yourself and know that bad days geziri ati weziba zize nkola nti. That is mental wisdom. Never sigamba nti it will never happen. Things will happen either in business, in normal life, at work, in relationships. Like things will happen. So the wisdom is mukola ntya to maneuver through this situation. All the people we admire in the Bible, they persevered. But also the wisdom, you need to persevere where the will of God is.
Not where the will of God is not. Finally, guys, I'm blessed to have sat down with you. Do we treat mental health? I'm asking for the entrepreneurs out there. But you got it at the mental health depression has come, I'm struggling. Yeah, because mental health is real. But if I'm out there and maybe I'm a business person and I really want to persevere, am I allowed to go and seek help? Is there like treatment that I can go and I come to you? I'm like, now you seem so gifty. Mental health is is there help that I can get as an entrepreneur, as a business owner? Are there like tablets I can swallow? Are there like what help can I get as an entrepreneur who is actually now facing the real mental health of maybe I've made losses in business? Because like you said, these trials will always be there and they will affect me. Maybe I could get depression, I could start getting anxiety and panic attacks. Oh my God, and I say I made a loss, what if I made a loss, I make a loss again? What treatment? Is there treatment? How am I supposed to be accepted? If I look for help, does it make me lazy? Does it make me look unserious because I'm looking for help?
I'm an advocate for mental health go on. Like, fena okubanga, we strive to have a good mental health. But even amid this, the challenges of life, the stripes that we go through on a daily, we need at the end of the day to have a good mental health. So I feel like now for entrepreneurs, with everything that happens in business, I mean, people that are into business can really understand. I've ever opened that closed.
That's another story that we have to host you for.
So, like, there is a lot that comes, and yeah, you have to balance the work, you have family, you have other responsibilities, and it is you. Like, everything is on your head. The losses, loans, like so many things. I feel like all entrepreneurs should understand that mental health is part and parcel of life. Actually, about like when we look at the dimensions of success, both spiritual dimension, which is number one, the mental is the second dimension of success. Wow. It is the second. Katibine ebirala byonna, career, relationships, what, negisembe, because we have 7 of them. But number 2 is mental transformation. Spiritual transformation 1, then mental transformation comes in. So that means that as much as we are caring about all these things to make ends meet and this and that, we need at the end of the day make sure that this brain is at its best. Because the day it will shut down. Oja kutuka na account number tojujukira. Not that that is the extreme. Like oja kutuka tojujukira, oja kutuka you so burnt out that you cannot even enjoy the fruits of your labor, and the other people will enjoy it. Omaze myaka gya 3 okola, then in your 40s, in your 40th year, your body shuts down, and yet maybe that is when you started getting all the profits and all that, but your brain shuts down. But we're depressed, and this chronic depression yet have why? Because you kept carrying so much without like releasing maybe what I call the detoxifying. You didn't do the mental detox. So I feel like entrepreneurs should familiar themselves with getting mental breaks.
Mental breaks. Do I have to go for a vacation in Zanzibar? Do I have to?
Oh, Modier. Son. Then could have capital.
Kati mental break nifuna nti ndagawa. What do I do? Ngenda ku beach. Do I lock myself in my bedroom and I sleep? So, God, I'm not using myself in this example. Do I go to a bar and drink the entire night? Do I go to my mother and sit and rant? Mental health break. Well, what's that?
So we need to, first and foremost, I always encourage every one of us to do a mental state exam. Over the entrepreneur, over like as long as you are doing life like any one of us, you go and do a mental health exam. When we do these mental state exams, that are unique about you as a person. And also remember, as we're doing these businesses, we do businesses with our personalities.
But tell them,
Yeah, we do businesses with our personalities. Katwali omuntu nga personality is an obsessive personality. You're so obsessed with profits. You're so obsessed with
Being organized.
Being organized, Katinga. For me, I've suffered with that personality. For some, of course, it has its good things, but it has the bad. This personality, many times it could keep me awake. Nezukuka sawa kumi ezakiro netandika osimula ennyumba. Yeah.
I hear you.
So just imagine now in a business, okola n'abantu abalala, and you have that kind of personality. Ogenda kubeera at war with yourself all the time because you're thinking tebakikoze nga bwe kirina kubeera. So that breaks you all the time. You like it or not, etekawo mental overload all the time. Notuuka ekiseera nga kati bano abantu beefusanga, may I just do life? As long as I show up at my business, nenga muli talinaamu kunyumirwa okwo.
They're just doing it because
they are just doing because they have to show up, they have to do it. Nenga tat. So as we are doing business, we do them with our personalities. But when that personality get wet, you even understand how to accommodate the people that you work with. You even know and understand that to the extreme. This is how I do handle. But you realize many entrepreneurs, they break down back and forth. Nambala nachafuna nabiyambibwa ina kufuna because we in Africa, we don't check into hospitals for mental health. We don't. But just like I know business people are so much into, managing finances and all that. Just like you have an auditor, you have a financial coach, like mentors or in a lawyer, a fighting ebintu, or in accountant, or in a manager. Add on a medical person. Add on someone like a therapist or a psychologist or something. Because when you go out there to do work, when you get into business, to do business, togenda like you go with your whole self. So sometimes all these things which took care in business, they stretch us. No manyante every just manage siri mugumekiriza. But it's not because story mugumekiriza, but it's because your personality yetaga ojimanya and you know how to always reform it. Waliwo abantu nga bo they are, for example, I would say if someone has what we call an histrionic personality, oba betuyita abalina hysteria, the attention seekers and all that, you're craving for attention all the time. Okoze a business with a mind of I needed to be in camera, to be seen, because you're craving attention. That is because sometimes our business is tuzikola like we go like you take ourselves into the business. Because you reach there and you realize you're not getting this attention that you wanted. It depresses you because your personality feeds on attention.
So the clients are not giving you your content is not moving.
We're breaking that down. And then we check you in Utabika. So by then you
go, my content is not
move because you crave on attention, yeah? So if you don't get that, and mentally it affects you. And the bad thing about mental issues, tezikosa fefe, kasita kosa abantu abatwetolodde, zibanga, bugols, butandika okuyingira mu bantu abala, and you start affecting the mental health of everyone around you. So I think one thing I should emphasize, nga financial coaches, the accountants and all that, to be there either with a mental coach or a therapist, I need to check on this, or I need to vent, there are certain exercises, or nowadays I do wellness plans, mental wellness plans for people, these high functioning people, yeah? But over CEOs, those that don't rest, you design for them a plan, no mugamba, ato jugomerera. As much as you are doing life, the business has to keep moving and all that. Now we need to moving. Because the funny thing, you can operate like I said, ask yourself what about in 50s, 60s, they tend to shut down.
They are tired. Their souls, their spirits, their souls which get tired of their spirits. Their brains are tired.
They get tired because you've been carrying so much for the longest. Tingatofuna mwezo mental breaks. Tomanyi na ngeri joba relaxinga. Tomanyi na ngeri, entrepreneurs, they don't even meditate. Taina Buddha, kubala profits. You get it. But yet all those things bituyamba for kuba that at the end of the day, as much as the business is thriving, you also need to thrive. Tukwetaga. tetwagala otuuke, I'm using the word, okay, I rebuke you, okay. But tetwagala otuuke okaddiwa, naye nga oli mentally you're so tired. Let me finalize with this or that point. You realize that abantu abasinga mwegyo emyaka gye nkugambye, there are certain conditions ze bafuna mu kadde ze tuyita dementia. Back then, dementia yabeeranga etandikira ku myaka 65 ne Sandi okimanyi kati tulina abantu ku myaka 45 bafuna dementia.
Wow. And it's supposed by stress?
45, yes. 45 n'atuuka nga asula pulani nze ngenda kwambala essaati ya pinki n'akeera ku masya nga takijjukira. N'ababuuza engatto zange ziriwa naye nga alina we yazitadde naye nga
tajjukirawo. Ebisumuluzo
by'emmotoka biriwa. N'atuuka ku mulimu eno ripooti eriwa ne bamugamba twagikuwadde eggulo. 45. Ask yourself why.
Cannot be. I'm waiting a mental health coach. Guys, gifts. And I would go on and on and on and on. It's allow us to host you again. I feel like there is a lot that we have not gotten into. I feel like we've not utilized you so well in this podcast today. I feel like you carry so much wisdom that we could have tapped into, but I feel like there is a lot that we've not even touched. My mind is resting with questions, but the podcast has to literally come to an end. Can you tell us about Woman Blossom? I've got it right this time. I was calling it Woman Blossom, but can you tell us about Woman Blossom? I understand it's a couple of weeks, 2 weeks away?
3 weeks away.
3 weeks away. Can you tell someone who would want to participate what they should expect when they come for the event?
Okay. So, this year, the 2026, this year, we're having season 4 of Woman Blossom Summit, and it's going to be on the 25th of July, 2026 at Bamas Pateko Saroba Hotel, behind Hub in Makerere, or like behind Makerere University Hospital, or behind the Redeemed Church. I think when I speak those places, people can understand them. So this year we're having a theme of the awakening. The awakening. We've had, like I said, this is the 4th season. The first seasons that were there before, we've been having different themes. We started with repackaging and reintroducing self. Then the season 2, we had journey self-discovery. Season 3 last year, we had breaking grounds. Then this year is the awakening. So why the awakening? I think one thing we should understand that there is no one that is coming for us.
No one is coming to save you.
No one is going to save you. I appreciate people that come from good-to-do families. I appreciate people abatandika obulamu nga ye life is set a certain way. Tagenda we opportunity gy'ogenda okunoonyeza emyaka 2 Sandra, yes, just one phone call away. Kati bw'okimanya nti gwate you're not in that class, you start planning life differently, because for you, you know you can't do that phone call, or
but you could do a phone call and then you also don't know what to do with. You could have the opportunity to do a phone call, but you don't know what to do with the phone call.
Thank you. You don't know what to do the phone, like with what to say, with the opportunity. So I feel like in this summit, we want to awaken those things, the capabilities, the creativity, the innovation. Women are very innovative people. We are very innovative people. Like I said, you just need to stretch it. And whatever you put your mind on, you can achieve it. For that, I'm very sure 100%. Mukam already
I think the other day was saying that we are a generation of very hardworking and enterprising women. Like the generation today, it's the women who are driving the Range Rovers and the G-Ways. It's the women who are doing the big and mighty things. It's the women. There is a movement of women that has risen up, and wow,
the
generation of women like you who are impacting lives.
So we need to awaken all that. Why do I say the identities? Many of us, I've given in my example, functioning on a certain identity for almost 2 years. It is very costly. So many of us are functioning in identities that are not our identities. You just need to tap and awaken your own identity, ngabwe Sandra, like that. Because now if you operate in a false identity, you even attract people that are not meant to be with you on the journey. But if you tap into your real identity, even opportunities align well with you. Like you realize that tochafuba nnyo nga we wafubanga. There is a way how things are. Ne wabamu obuzibuzibu nga, because now you might ask me, don't I face difficulties? I do.
You definitely do, but how are you
do,
navigating
but
the muscle that you've built?
The muscle that I've built. So to awaken the identities, the innovation, and we will have amazing speakers that are going to talk about these different things, and they have lived them. Actually, they have lived them. We're going to have Pastor Sandra Baingana. She's going to handle the topic of balancing faith and innovation, because I mean that has... Pastor Sandra is a very innovative person. She's an engineer and she's a pastor. So faith and innovation, we want to see, should you just be serving and wait on the
Until the pastor.
Amen. Or so we want to see, how do you get to be innovative as a woman? Do you, how much capital do you need? Oh, if that's, we say it's in a capital. So like, what is it that you need? Then we're going to have Miss Shamtaila Naranga. She's going to talk about creativity, awakening creativity. She's a fashion designer, one of the best that we have in Africa. And she's lived it. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a great lineup.
She's lived that experience. She's creating amazing pieces of
She's impacting the.
she's impacting. She's changed the fashion world and industry. Then we're going to have Mrs. Manuela Mulondo. She's going to talk about awakening the woman within.
If you don't want to, if you
Yes, awakening the
What's
woman
film?
within. Yes, I know. So just imagine that woman within, because I know for me there is that woman. Nga bwe nkugambye, I've not yet tapped ndi mumukonako katono katono.
progress.
But I would love to see that woman in me come out. So to every woman that is coming in the room, we want to awaken that woman that is God put in you. Then we're going to have Pastor Sarah Segane. She's going to talk about breaking limitations and embracing a purpose. She's a lived, she has a very amazing story of how she broke limitations of not giving back, like being raped and all those kinds of things. So it's going to be amazing. And then you're saying, I was sexually abused, they like or not. There is someone that has ever, you see, trauma. And then we're going to have Apostle Irene Kauma. She's going to talk about leadership, awakening us into leadership, because as women, when we are doing life, we are leaders. Oyagala toyagala ne bwoba tonto oyinza ogamba abantu abali mu business oba balina audience be ba leaders.
even you in your home,
You were a leader. Ne bwoba okyali single, you were a leader. Wonna all you a leader. So we're going. I myself, I'll also be talking about the theme, the topic of, are we healing or hiding? And my emphasis will be on boundaries.
Hey, what a lineup, what a lineup, what a lineup. We are going to put the number, how they can get the ticket. Is it like the tickets? How they can
Yeah,
get the tickets?
you're going to put the numbers that they can use
Yeah, and the flyer.
and a flyer. But you can also check out on different social media platforms, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You can even check out our website. The details are there on Woman Blossom website, but on all our different social media platforms, the details are there. Call those numbers, register. It's going to be an amazing time. It's going to be an amazing time.
I'll
Like
be
I
there.
said,
Please be
woman,
there.
blossom. Like we need to
Let's go
blossom
blossom.
every single year. We need to make sure that we add ourselves, like we grow, we develop a certain way, either physically, spiritually, financially, but there is a certain part of your life that has to blossom. And blossom, it's all around. It's not that only in finances, it is an all around thing. We need to see a 360 woman. And God is demanding that from us. But also, as I finalize, sometimes when we say this, some people feel like they're being put on pressure. But I want to remind women that life is lived in seasons. I gave us that scripture. You can read it, Isaiah 27:6, and embrace the season, Jolimu, but also use wisdom. Assess and see, is it the right season? Because some of us get stuck in seasons that are
we are supposed to just be there and get out, but
And
because
get out.
you don't get the help, you
you
start
get
there.
start. So assess and see, am I in the right season? And ask God not to miss out on any of your seasons. Yeah.
Guys, I feel like there is a lot we've left out, especially in the being in the right communities, mentorship. I feel like allow us to have you allow us to have you back on the podcast. It's been so amazing. You like I said, you're so full of wisdom and you're blessed. Just tell those days to subscribe and we end the podcast before we start another entire conversation.
Thank you so much, everyone that is watching this. Kindly make it a point to subscribe and hit the notification bell. But you can also share this podcast with any of your colleagues about different communities that you are in and ask them to subscribe. But I'm asking you, please come and show up at the Woman Blossom Summit on the 25th of July. If you want to reach out, my number is 0773 73 72 67. I'm going to have Coach Sandra in the room. So please come and
I'm going
along.
to be there and I'm going to tell you guys to come and go with it because at the end of that day, when one woman wins, we all win. If we are all winning, I mean, it's a better generation for us that at the end of the day is going to bring the glory to God. And like you've heard, there is so much anointing in the house. See, people learn how to sit under anointings. You've had the apostles, you've had the pastors that are there. You're there, I don't want to say you're nobody. You're there, you're stuck somewhere and you don't want to come and be in the room. I'm going to carry them, Amen. Guys, until next time, please just subscribe. Until next time, bye-bye. Behind the camera, we have the lens doctor in himself, Enoch. If you have a graduation, if you have a wedding, if you have anything to do with pictures, please, it's called the lens doctor for a reason. So reach out to him. Bye-bye.